Well, hello. I'm so excited to be here with Kelsey Ritter. She's the Chief Development Officer for Omaha Home for Boys. Kelsey, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thanks, Andy.
Well, let's talk a little bit about Omaha Home for Boys. You've got a big event coming up in October, but Omaha Home for Boys, let's talk about who do you serve, kind of the mission, a little bit of the history.
Yeah, so Omaha Home for Boys has been in the community for over 100 years, and our mission is to transform lives and strengthen our community. So we serve youth, young adults, and families in our community, and our programs focus on education, employment, housing, life skills, and mental and behavioral health.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm so familiar with Omaha Home for Boys. We've been doing so much with you guys, at least for the last, 30, almost 40 years, just
Yeah.
from where I'm sitting. And things have just, you've seen a lot of changes and how things have kind of expanded, and you're really opening the scope of who you do serve and also the programs that you have. And one of the things that this event I know does, it does help. It helps those families and it helps those programs. So uh, with the Imagine event, which is coming up on October 20th, talk about that because uh, this event, have you had the title? Has it been Imagine, or tell us a little history? Because I know I've come to this event many times.
Yeah. So years ago, it did kind of have that theme, that imagine, and then years we went just each year having its own theme. And so we really went back to, okay, every year let's have that imagine theme because it really does talk about, just what we're doing. Imagine what your support can do. Imagine what our youth can achieve with your support. Imagine our youth and young adults as independent, productive young adults. Just imagine transformed lives. So really, with the community's help, imagine what we can do and imagine where all of our clients would be. So
Yeah.
that's why we really said, let's take this theme and really just, use it every year and apply kind of a new lens on it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I love that. I love that. I'm kind of glancing over here because I'm also on your Imagine um website that you have
Yeah.
specifically for this event. And I know the website is probably down below us as we're speaking. But what can people, this year it's at the barn. Is this the first year it's been at the
It
barn?
is.
Okay.
Yeah, we haven't had it out here before. So we're really excited. We decided, you know what, let's take a little bit more of a casual approach. The barn's a great venue, really fun. We decided to do a Friday evening so people can come more casual, come after work, and just have a great kickoff to their weekend by doing something inspiring.
Yeah.
So it's our first time out there and on a Friday.
Yeah, you're really, I mean, you're mixing it up. So um what can people expect? And I also know you have a special guest joining you this year as
Mhm.
well. So talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so people can expect an evening of inspiration and action. You can purchase tickets to the event, sponsorships, tables. So at 6 o'clock, we'll have a cocktail hour. At 7 o'clock, we'll have our dinner and our inspirational program. And then the evening will just keep going from there. So, really, we're going to be sharing stories from our youth and young adults from their experiences at OHB and how that truly transformed their lives. And so, most importantly, we're going to raise critically needed funds to be able to do the work that OHB does in the community.
Yeah.
And you mentioned a special guest. So we
Yes.
do have a special guest. We're going to be featuring a lot of different stories, but we have one in particular that's going to be kind of our highlighted or featured story, and that's going to be Tegan. And so he was one of our branching out program graduates, and he is still involved in OHB. Currently, he's with our scholarship program. So he's been with OHB for a long time and continues to be. And Tegan's story is an inspiring story from really coming from desperate and homeless to currently where he is thriving as a college senior who's hoping to go on to medical school and pursue emergency medical care. So really, he really has a remarkable story that's, like many of our other clients that we serve to, just coming from a place of, needing that critical need to really just thriving.
Yeah. And I honestly, I mean, hearing stories of people that have experienced Omaha Home for Boys, have been through the programs, and the services, and really kind of seeing where they came from and to where they are. I mean, that really is like the most inspiring thing. And people know, like, we're supporting this organization and we are a part of this happening for these
Yes.
individuals.
Yeah, exactly. We could talk about the statistics of, what we're doing all day long, but once you hear the stories and really feel it and say, I'm helping somebody like this, and somebody like Tegan, for example, donors have helped him through, housing, through, doing all these first critical steps, and continue to still help him through helping with scholarship as he goes through this training and education. And so it's great to be able to follow people and see how your impact continues to, your support continues to make that impact long term, really long term success.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's talk a little bit. I think we've touched on this, but how the funds raised at the event will help youth and families at OHB. Can you give some examples of how that will help?
Yeah, absolutely. So, as we talked about, we have a lot of different programs, and we really have a continuum of care, as we talked about, from youth to young adult and their families. So, support helps with education from these youth that are living with us, helps them earn these credits so they can get back to where they are at school. It helps, our youth and our young adults with self-sufficiency skills, and getting ready for employment and learning what type of jobs are out there, and helping them get prepared through the interview process to really be able to get a great job for them. It helps with housing and rental assistance, and really just get these people in a great, stable, safe place to live. And just those life skills that many people learned when they were at home with their parents that maybe some of our clients weren't able to learn. So we're helping them learn some of those life skills so that they're able to go grocery shopping and do budgeting and do all of those things, change a tire, do all those things on their own so that they can be self-sufficient.
Yeah.
So, support goes and helps all those different things, and so much more.
Yeah, no, oh my gosh. I mean, yeah, and so much more. And that's critical for individuals to be successful in their life, and to have like the most opportunities when kind of the basic skills, which a lot of people don't often know, and they have to kind of struggle through that. So you're taking away some of the struggle that we all go through at one point in our time. So so let's talk a little bit about outside of the event. I want to know how people can help Omaha Home for Boys, and what can we do maybe all year round.
Yeah. Oh, yes. All year round. We're doing things all year round for sure. So certainly, there's many different ways to give. On our website, we have a ways to give document that talks about whether it's cash gifts or what works best for you. There's always ways to give that way in terms of donations. That's so helpful to us, because that, allows us to do our programming and support our staff to do the programming, which is, in turn helping our clients. So certainly those donation and cash gifts. Also volunteers. We have volunteers coming year round, sometimes working with our clients, sometimes working on other projects that are critical to the success of our programs. So you can volunteer. You can go on our website and fill out a form to volunteer as well, and find out what different opportunities there are. And we do different drives throughout the year as well. We do a school supply drive. We do a hygiene donation drive throughout the year. Christmas and the holiday season is approaching, and we want to give all of our clients and their families a wonderful, memorable Christmas. And so we're helping with that, and we're collecting items for our Christmas drive that's coming up as well. So participating in those, but even hosting a drive in conjunction with one of those is another way that you can participate and help us.
Well, wonderful, wonderful. So again, I'm looking over here. So we're at the barn, 15220 Military Road in Bennington. So people, like you said, this is more of a casual. Can we show up in jeans? I mean, what
yeah. Yes, or smart casual is the official dress code, but it's you can show up in jeans, and it's casual, it's nice. Come after work, come after home, wear jeans, be comfortable. Friday, October 20th, 6 p.m. Come out and join us for a great time. So tickets are available, table purchases are available, and we're going to be doing so many fun things at the event, and really showcasing different parts of our client programs. As well, you kind of get an inside look to what things are we helping with them do and accomplish and learn. So it's going to be really fun to get that inside look.
Yep. And October 20th, just a perfect fall autumn
It will
evening.
be, it's gonna be beautiful out there.
Yep, I'm looking forward to it. So, Kelsey, thank you so much for joining me today. And
Thank you for
yeah,
having me.
and folks, October 20th, we'll see you there. And
Look
don't
forward to it.
We'll be right back. Well, hello, my friends. I'm excited to be here today with Randy Fontaine, the Executive Director of HopeNet Ministries, Inc. First of all, Randy, thank you so much for joining me today.
Well, thank you so much for giving us the opportunity to share with folks here in the Metro what we're doing here in Council Bluffs.
Yeah. Well, we met a few weeks ago, and I will say I was not familiar with this nonprofit organization that you're the founder of this, and you started this. But let's just kind of start from the beginning. Talk a little bit about the organization, who you serve, and what was the inspiration for you to step into this type of work that you're doing.
Yeah, sure. Back in 2005, we all remember Katrina hit New Orleans, and a lot of families ended up here in Omaha. And through our church, we began to help some of those families. And we began to discover there are these holes within the social fabric of our community.
Yeah.
That getting help, we just couldn't find the help. And like many creative things, well, if it doesn't exist, then let's build something.
Yeah.
And so we began in 2007 with a thrift store called Sequels. It was kind of our foundation starting point. Kind of gave us permission to then start going to community meetings, social service meetings, met with the mayor, and we just began asking the questions: what's the needs in our city? What's going unmet? How can we help? Just that basic question: how can we help? And through that, we were alerted of here's some needs within the family structure, children, poverty, the effects of poverty in our city. And so we began a program called Circles of Support. It really came out of Ames, Iowa, and we were asked to start that. And so we took those early steps in 2009 and began this monthly meal. We sit around, and around the table are allies and participants. And what can you share at the table? What can you to share with others? Your advice, your counsel, but also listening. What are these families saying, and what are the next steps that we can help? During that time, we began to meet women who had come out of incarceration and were telling us these horror stories of walking out of jail homeless and wandering through the streets. So the last thing they hear at the jail is behave yourself, don't get in trouble. But then we send them out literally homeless. How are they not going to get in trouble? And so we began to go inside correctional facilities, began to build those relationships, help them transition out. Since we started, we've given away over 1,800 bicycles as an example of that first means of transportation.
Yeah, and I'm gonna kind of jump in here too. Let's talk a little bit about that. The bicycles. How many did you give away?
1,800.
And where did they come from?
Donations.
Okay.
People here in the community hearing the needs and start donating bicycles. We had a couple repairmen that would repair them, get them up to running, and then we'd take them to the residential correctional facility and places like that. And so that she could get that job that's a little further away. She could travel faster, safer. and those type things.
Yeah.
So part of our ministry focus is these ladies coming out. We serve up to 300 a year. We do weekly support meetings. We help them with jobs. We help them with housing. Our ultimate goal for them is that their last offense is their last offense. That we
Yeah.
provide so much support around them that they're not falling into the old traps and old relationships, that we can build new friends, new relationships, and empower them to get back on their feet and get their kids back and go to college and just whatever those stories are. And so we've had some great stories, wonderful stories. In that time frame, we also opened a downtown thrift store.
Okay.
And we discovered this whole homeless population that we really didn't know existed. Somewhere in the neighborhood of 100 to 150 men and women that are on the streets. Over 100 spent January, one day out on the streets all night. And so we started a homeless resource center, kind of a day shelter, but we provided up to 300 lunches, meals a week. We were able to connect them with housing resources. So we signed up 81 of these people into the housing tracks. And because they knew where to meet, we were able to keep them connected with groups like Heartland Family Services and Public Housing and these other groups. So they actually got the applications. They actually went through the process. And at last count, around 55 of those 81 have found secure housing in apartments and other things.
Is that what Housing Helps CB? Is that whole program?
That is what that program became, because then we discovered as a street person gets off the street, is welcomed into his new apartment, unfinished apartment. He brings with him the clothes on his back and maybe a backpack, and that's it. So there's no bed, there's no bedding, there's no shower curtain, there's no towels, there's no utensils, pots and pans, there's nothing. And now we're finding that these folks are walking into these situations already struggling with self-identity, struggling with self-esteem, hopelessness, and we throw them in an apartment that's empty and say, good luck, and then walk away. And so we found that, man, we have to help. And so we've made a transition here in the starting in August, and our Housing Helps program walks in with the caseworker and the applicant. We walk into the apartment basically together, and we bring an air mattress and bedding until they can get a real bed. We bring everything you need in the kitchen to feed yourself. We bring a shower curtain and towels so you can take a bath. If we don't help them make that transition from this is just an empty space to a home, they'll give up.
Is that how the community can also help by donating these items and providing, a solid bed? Talk a little bit about that, because I mean, a lot of our viewers we want to help. So
so we have different groups that are supporting us through that. We're in the process right now of emptying out 2 apartments at an apartment complex and taking that furniture and relocating it to some of our friends that we've been able to house. So basic bedding type stuff, the sheets, the pillows, the blankets, those type things, the towels. We'd like the towels to match the shower curtain, to match the floor mat. You want to walk into your bathroom and it feels like a spa, that everything matches and comfortable. And we want that for our friends also. We want the beds to match the blanket,
You want it to feel like a home. You want it to feel like your home.
We have to create a home environment for them. And, we give them a brand new coffee pot, a brand new microwave. We want things that are working. We don't want just but we want to help bring dignity back to these people and help them feel that they're valued, they have worth, somebody cares. Um,
Absolutely.
one
Yeah.
one of our friends on the street came through one time, and she screamed, "Nobody cares!" And I screamed just as loud, "I do!" And she goes, "Yeah, I mean, other than you." And so letting them know, I've
Yeah.
got your back. I'm here to help you. We just had two people walk into our location here this morning, just got apartments, needing some help, and so we're doing that. It's been amazing that how many people walk into apartments um, with the clothes on their back.
Right.
Last month we had 11 that we housed. 8 of the 11 came in with nothing. I don't know which is scarier, that number or the fact this has been going on for how long
Yeah.
before anyone recognized, wow, here's a huge need.
Yeah.
And so that's what we're trying to do is meet needs and help them connect and build a healthy
Right.
relationships and
Right.
stuff.
Well, I wanna, let's talk about the fall fundraiser coming up, because that's something that you've been doing for many years.
Yeah, a number
But
of years.
actually, yeah, and now it's actually going to be a new space where you can have accommodate more people. So yeah, fall fundraiser, and you got
Yeah,
a really great guy coming in.
this is Russ Taff,
Yeah,
and Russ was a pioneer in contemporary Christian music for 40 years, 6-time Grammy winner, twice male vocalist of the year, and but he also has a story of struggle with alcohol and his journey through his past and with his family and father and stuff like that. So he's going to tell his story and also provide his music. And that's going to be on October 26th at Iowa Western Community College. We have the big theater there. And
yeah,
so the thrust of this is to alert people, here are needs in our community. Here's a way that you can partner with us. Yes, you can bring us a bicycle. Yes, you can bring us a microwave. You can also write us a check.
right,
And so we're looking for that funding so that we can be there for our friends coming off the streets. We can be there for the ladies coming out of incarceration. We can kind of be their friends and have their back. And I tell them that we're your best cheerleaders.
yeah,
You keep working hard. You keep clean, sober, out of trouble. We'll be your best cheerleader. If you do get in trouble, we'll be there with you. We're not going to judge you. Let's try it again. And we've had some folks that have been there for uh, 4 or 5 times in jail, and yet we still are there for them. And that's
yeah,
our goal is helping these that
yeah.
are less fortunate than us to get on their feet.
Well, and I know when we talked, a few weeks ago, that what you're doing creates such a ripple effect in the lives of these women, and it impacts their children and their families, and then
Yeah.
children, I mean, that just ripple effects off through their life. I mean, it can go 1,000 different ways, tens of thousands of different ways when as you kind of look out into the future of the impact that you're making. So first of all, I just want to say thank you.
Thank you.
This is just huge. But again, I know there's a lot of ways people can give back. One is coming to the fall fundraiser on October 26th, but you also have a great website. People can look for more information there about how to support you and
Yeah.
how to support these women. It's pretty amazing. So again, thank you, Randy.
Thank you. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Yeah, you're welcome. So folks, put October 26th on your calendar. Again, more information on hopenetministries.org. I'm looking at my sheet here and I've got the website up over here. Lots of great information. And let's talk, before I let you go, so the concert, people can actually come to the event. There's not a ticket price, but
Right.
everyone's, I mean, obviously we're encouraged to make a donation with whatever means you can. So
Yeah, it's a free concert, and we have some benefactors that have been raising support, and so covering those costs and things. We really want people to hear his story,
yeah,
a story of redemption, and to enjoy his music. but also we'll introduce what we do and how they can participate with us and support us at the event and also year round.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Well, again, Randy, thank you for joining me today. I've just really enjoyed getting to know you and also everything that your organization does. And again, folks, October 26th, but also all year round. So thanks again, Randy.
All right. Thank you.